Hey Brian, this is Jared with Sure Tones Entertainment in Indianapolis, Indiana. I wanted to send you a quick video response on your shoe game posting that you just put up a few hours ago. I originally wrote the whole thing out and started typing it, and I ran out of characters, so there was a few different points that I wanted to get across, and this I felt was probably a lot easier than just typing the whole thing out. First, the shoe game. We try not to call it the shoe game as much as possible, simply for the fact of the shoe game means that you have to use shoes, and it's weird. The shoe is just weird, and I don't like feet. I'm with you. I'm not a big fan of feet or anything like that. So the more that I can stay away from having them to take their shoes off, the more fluid the game's going to be, the easier it's going to be to get them to come in, sit down, and get back up, and go into the next dance or whatever else we're going to do. So to work around that, we've called it the newlywed game. We've called it the used to be dating game. We've called it all kinds of different things. It's just anything aside from shoe. That's just our own personal preference on that one. Two, the questions. As you probably know, there's a plethora of questions online. Very generic stuff from, who said I love you first, to who spends more time on the computer, to, who has a crazier family, so on and so forth. We've collected about 200 and 250 different questions ranging from family friendly to adults only, and we've got those in different sections. We've got like a green, a yellow, and a red. Green meaning family friendly, yellow meaning it's on that verge, and then red being the adult only. So we have no problem going into any one of those, and sometimes they want a little bit of all of it. You start with the green, make your way into yellow, and then you hit the red ones towards the end. Having that balance is always good. The flip side of that is when you start going through those questions, they become very generic. They become very robotic, and repeating those over and over and over again, it doesn't allow it to be a more personal experience for the bride and the groom. So what we do is during the cocktail hour and during the ceremony, I'm sorry, not ceremony, but during the cocktail hour and during the dinner time, I'll make a couple different announcements asking guests to come up and talk to me about different questions that they might have. And that's something as simple as having a clipboard and a pen and say, hey, if you've got any questions, come on up to the booth, write down your questions, and we'll make sure to get those questions asked. Now, of course, I'm going to go through them and make sure they're appropriate, and then go from there. But they can normally ask questions that you would never ever think about asking, certain things, just to make that event a little bit more personal. So getting your guests and getting your people that are there to come up and talk to you is going to give you exponentially more details into what is going on with the bride and groom than just the generic questions. So as far as questions go, I would highly recommend doing that. Third and lastly, everybody has an emergency plan. Everybody has a plan B, so to speak. Now, if the bride and groom don't have anything that they can hold up to signify either bride or groom, right now you're seeing a lot of like top hats being held up for groom, and then a lot of veils being held up for bride. What you can do is just get, well, this is what we do. We've got 2 white heavy-duty cloth napkins and 2 blue heavy-duty cloth napkins. And I'm able to keep those in my little emergency kit. If they get dirty, I can wash them and make them, brand spanking new. Keep them in a plastic baggie or whatever, just to make sure that nothing gets on them, and you're good to go. They're, somewhat classy looking. They're by no means, top of the line or anything like that. But again, it's an emergency plan. If they show up and they want to do the game, but they don't have anything to hold up, I can easily whip those out and say, here you go. Here's a blue one. Here's a white one. You know what to do with it. And then they're very visual. I saw somebody commented about the glow sticks. Absolutely, those will work as well. The downfall with those is they're one-time use, so it's more money coming out of your pocket each and every time. However, having 10 or 20 of those in your emergency kit, just in case, is never a bad thing. So those are my tips. Those are my little tricks, so on and so forth. I'm sure there's a lot of other ones out there. I see your videos all the time, and I never really comment or give my 2 cents, and this is something that we've been doing more and more frequently, so I thought I'd give my 2 cents this time. So thanks for the videos. Keep up the great work, and enjoy.